Dear gentle listener, as the evening settles over the Aubrac plateau, cattle graze quietly beneath the fading golden light. And in this quiet moment, we turn to an ancient Greek tale, a story where the image of the bull carries both mystery and fear. This is the story of Theseus and the Minotaur. Allez, c'est parti! Long ago in the ancient world, the people of Athens lived under a terrible burden. A conflict between Athens and Crete had brought great sorrow, and after his victory, Minos, the cruel king of Crete, demanded a cruel tribute from the Athenians. Each year they were forced to send 7 young men and 7 maidens across the sea to Crete. These unfortunate souls were not welcomed as guests, but offered as sacrifices. For deep within the island stood a vast and bewildering labyrinth, a maze so cunningly designed that whoever entered its endless corridors would lose all sense of direction. Its winding passages turned upon themselves, hiding every path and revealing none. At its center dwelled the Minotaur, a terrifying creature with the body of a man and the head of a bull. Savage, powerful, and filled with rage, it waited in the darkness of the labyrinth, where it fed upon the helpless victims sent from Athens. For years, the people of Athens lived with this grief. But among them was a young hero whose courage would change their fate. Theseus, the son of King Aegeus. Moved by the suffering of his people, Theseus made a bold and dangerous choice. When the time came for the next tribute to be sent, he refused to remain safely behind. He offered himself as one of the doomed youths, determined either to defeat the monster or die trying. His father, King Aegeus, was filled with sorrow at the thought of losing his only son. Yet Theseus gave him hope. He promised that if he returned victorious, he would replace the ship's black sails, symbol of mourning, with white sails, so his father would know that he had survived. With a heavy heart, King Aegeus watched the ship depart, its dark sails disappearing across the sea. When it arrived in Crete, the Athenian youths were brought before King Minos. Among those watching was Ariadne, the king's daughter. The moment she saw Theseus, she was captivated by his courage and beauty. But beyond her feelings for him was compassion. She could not bear to see him enter the labyrinth, knowing he might never return. So Ariadne decided secretly to help him. She gave Theseus 2 precious gifts, a sword to face the Minotaur and a simple ball of thread. She told him to unwind it as he walked through the labyrinth, for it would guide him safely back through the darkness. But Ariadne knew the price of her choice. By helping Theseus, she was betraying her own father. Before he entered the labyrinth, she asked him for one promise, that when he escaped from Crete, he would take her with him. Theseus accepted. Armed with courage and guided by Ariadne's thread, the young hero entered the labyrinth. Deeper and deeper he went, surrounded by cold stone walls and endless darkness. Every passage looked the same. Every turn seemed to lead nowhere, until at last, from the shadows, he heard the creature approaching. The Minotaur charged. A fierce battle followed between the young hero and the terrible beast that had haunted Athens for so long. But Theseus did not surrender. With strength and determination, he struck the final blow, and the Minotaur fell. The monster was defeated, Then, following the thread Ariadne had given him, Theseus made his way back through the maze and finally emerged into light. Victorious, Theseus fled Crete, taking Ariadne with him, along with the rescued youth from Athens. They sailed towards home, carrying hope where once they had only been despair. But their journey was not without sorrow. When they reached the island of Naxos, Theseus left Ariadne behind as she slept upon the shore. The woman who had risked everything for him was now abandoned by the very hero she had helped save. As she awoke to find herself alone, Theseus continued his journey towards Athens. Yet tragedy awaited him. As the shores came into view, Theseus, overcome with joy and relief after his long journey, forgot the promise he had once made to his father and failed to change the ship's sails from black to white. Far away, King Aegeus watched the horizon. When he saw the black sails approaching, he believed his son had perished. Overcome with sorrow, the old king threw himself into the sea, which would forever carry his name, the Aegean Sea. Theseus therefore returned to Athens not only as a hero, but as a king. And Ariadne? She wandered the shores of Naxos in grief, abandoned and alone. Yet she was not forgotten. Dionysus, the god of wine, came to her, gentle and radiant, and in time offered her love. To honor her, he cast her crown into the heavens. Its jewel became points of light in the night sky, forming a constellation now known as Corona Borealis, the northern crown. So when you look into darkness, you may glimpse it there, the crown of Ariadne, glowing amongst the stars.